Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Hypnotic Rambles episode
11.
And you remembered.
I did.
And
Because 10 stayed in my mind.
yes, this and the next few podcasts will be about weight loss. Weight loss, weight management, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why we are going to cover it in more episodes than one is because it has got different parts, many parts that we need to cover. And we thought that if we are going to break things up, it's easier to remember, it's easier to understand.
Yes. And up to now, we've kind of dealt with a lot of the generalities that will apply in the world of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And what we decided to do over the next number of podcasts, not just the weight loss ones or weight management ones or whatever you choose to call it, is we'll break down even more of the other ones as we go from our perspective.
Always.
Somebody will always have a different opinion, and that's okay.
And that's okay. That's okay. I always say to people, just imagine you and another person in front of you having an A4 paper on the floor, and then we just draw 6. The other person will see 9.
Correct.
Is anybody wrong or right? Not really. It's just a different perspective, different opinion.
Absolutely.
Coming from what we, how we lived our life, all the experiences that we had, and then seeing through the present and future.
It's about what the client accepts as right for them.
Exactly. It's very personal. So anyway, let's start with all the parts that we need to cover, and we may come up with other things as we go along. But for now,
we never would.
Pardon?
We never would.
Yeah. No. So we have.
We are quite serious, by the way.
Always. When we are with clients, very serious. But this is called Hypnotic Rambles for a reason. We want to bring a little bit of fun to it too, because life can be really fun.
It's meant
if you allow it to be. So weight loss, weight management is built up and put together by beliefs, habits. You say the others. Exercise. I'm leading, by the way.
Hey, I'm never in charge. We know that, even when you tell me I am. So, yes, there's beliefs. There is the actual food that you eat. There's the exercise that you do. There is the rate at which you burn. And I always add sleep into that because I think it's a massive part of that process.
Yeah, and let's not forget stress management, because stress is a massive.
Well, yes, relaxation is the other one, because stress produces cortisol, and cortisol, in my opinion, needs sugar.
Yeah. Cravings. So there are lots and lots of them. So which one do we start with today?
For me, the one that's always the most important is beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with that. And beliefs, again, is a massive part of this whole subject, weight loss, weight management, because we can have different beliefs about all the parts that are either to our advantage or holding us back. Right. For example, we can have a belief that a kind of food is really not helping, but making us gain weight. But if you compare that to another person who's, let's say, naturally slim, right? Whatever, using this because I don't like the natural or normal word, but the naturally slim people, they may not believe that, right? So again, starting with that, you can all straight away think about, question that belief. Is that really to my advantage, or is it holding me back? So we can have so many different beliefs about so many different things.
Absolutely.
In weight loss.
Absolutely. Beliefs is the frame that surrounds it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the standard world, and I know people will go more detailed in this, but in a general sense, when you burn more calories than you consume, ultimately the weight will fall off. However, the frame in which that all sits is the beliefs that you hold. And, in there's the belief, firstly, that you can lose weight.
The basic one, the foundation.
Yeah, that you actually can lose weight. And we dealt with, unconscious beliefs and conscious beliefs before in the previous podcast. There's that unconscious belief. Is that actually true? Or are we holding on to this weight for a reason? Does it serve a purpose? Does it keep me emotionally smaller because I'm less seen, I'm less obvious, I stand out less than a slim person? Does it protect me for whatever reasons? Um, you know, they're all factors, or even something as simple as, do I believe that, that piece of sugar that I have in the evening reminds me of a time in my life when I felt really happy. I feel so lonely now. I just go back towards those. I'm trying to create that feeling by eating this to give me a sensation. My unconscious is trying to recreate a memory that I felt good with.
Or the opposite, where you are trying to push things down, as in the feelings away with the food. That is often an issue as well. But I'd like to give an example for what you just mentioned at the beginning is the belief, the core belief that can I actually lose weight? Can I become slim, right? And I think oftentimes I met so many people who truly believe that the reason why they are at the current weight is because their mother or father is, and their parents' generation, right? And I think on its own, this belief is so not helping. Because just because my mom is at that weight, I don't necessarily have to be at that weight, but that belief on its own can make me stay at that weight. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if I believe that I cannot lose weight because it's genetics, right? It's because I have the same shape as my mother or father, and they are overweight or obese. That belief on its own can actually make your mind to move you towards food, to hold on to extra weight, to keep it on, because it wants it to be true for you.
Absolutely.
Which
Well,
is fascinating.
I mean, that is the whole principle of genetics, where, we get what our parents have. And even if you go back to the whole principle of logical levels, where
Yeah.
environment creates behaviors, and behaviors create beliefs, and beliefs create values, and values identity. Um, and you grow up in a house where you're told continuously, you're big boned, our family always carry weight, etc., and so forth. Then you develop the behaviors that match that. You do them enough, they become the beliefs that you have, and it becomes, yeah, I'm overweight. That's always who I am. My family always are. And that's where that belief then needs to be targeted. It needs to be done at an identity level to actually change everything. Because once we change it at identity level, um, the rest of the rest of those four values just falls down. But if you try and change it at the behavior level, but you still actually believe that, I'm heavy boned, my family is always overweight, it's a constant struggle. It's always going to be.
So true. So you can exercise 3 times a day and eat salad. Not for everyone, but we met many people who were like really healthy, exercised constantly. So the motivation was there and everything was there, but they still believed and saw themselves in their mind, which is again another part, the self-image, still this person who is overweight.
Yeah.
And then it's a constant struggle. And that's where yo-yo dieting comes in. Or not just this time, but in other situations as well, when we eat to push our emotions down. But it's the belief that I am an overweight person. They're going to struggle because that belief can be so strong that it will do everything in its power to stop the losing weight or
Yeah,
releasing the weight part or
absolutely.
process.
And I mean, I'd often, clients come in and they're on, whatever weight management program is fancy this week. It's, and they've been going to I don't even know what they're called anymore, but all these various programs where people go once a week, they weigh themselves, da 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 da. Like, it's fairly simple. We live in a world where we all know what's right for us. We all know the right foods. And but yet we won't always choose those right foods for multiple reasons. But beliefs plays a massive, massive part. Yeah, marketing and conditioning is a second one. I mean, try and walk to a till without passing a whole bucket of shiny sweets that are shining in your face. You know, it's really difficult. And we live in a world where things are running at such a pace that we're snacking an awful lot because that's the only time we have, particularly in, you know, Ireland, Britain, and the US. It's just a standard way that we tend to operate. You know, we get things done, and time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Um, but like, everybody knows what's right. The challenge really is, and this is the way I just explain it to clients, and I'll go back to this whole left and right hemisphere part of our brain, logic and emotion, that we know in here what's the right thing to do. We absolutely know in here what's the right thing to do. But we have beliefs, habits, and behaviors in here which may be contrary. And so it's a willpower battle to keep this part of our mind in shape that says, no, I know that I have to eat salads. I can't eat now. I must drink water. I must da 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 da. And it's trying to keep all that part right at the center. But when we get tired, all that actually happens then is that willpower battle becomes stronger because the emotional side of the brain, where the habits, beliefs, and behaviors kick in, go, yeah, but we still want this, and this is the old habits we've had, and this is the old behaviors we've had, and we need it because this is the belief that we have.
Yeah.
But when you actually change that, that willpower battle doesn't exist anymore. And this is the part that when I'm explaining this to clients and they see the results, that there's no resistance. They're just eating the healthy foods because the resistance is gone. That's what they believe that they can do, and that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But they believe it in the emotional or unconscious mind rather than only in the logical or conscious mind.
Yeah, and here I'd like to mention, and that might be just me and not John, but I personally do not teach to just eat salad because I think that's wrong. We are not doctors, we're not prescribing what to eat and what not to eat. It's about changing the beliefs so that we and everyone else is looking at food as a fuel. So it's not a massive thing that it's an enemy, right? It's the fuel for our body. And if we really listen to our own body, we are going to eat, we're going to go for food that we actually need all the nutritions from that kind of food, right? So it's about, because it's never about, not always about what we eat, but it's about how much we eat as well and when we eat. Do we eat just for the sake of it? Do we eat because we feel a certain way, right? Do we actually eat when our body is hungry? Not here in the mind, but our stomach is telling us that we need food. And that can again be so beliefs can be behind this as well. If I believe that, oh, I need to eat every hour, I strongly believe, but then on the other side, eating every hour is actually harmful for me because I am overweight, then it's something to question, right? Is this really true? Do I need to eat every hour? Does my body need that much food every single hour? Or am I just eating because it's a habit or because it's in my mind? Because let's not forget that we have the mental hunger, the brain hunger, whatever you want to call it, and we have the actual physical hunger, which is in our stomach.
Absolutely.
And the first thing is to make a difference, you know, like differentiate between them, so you can recognize that actually now I just fancy that food, but my body is not hungry. So it's not about when hypnosis or hypnotherapy comes in and you choose that path to help you to lose weight, to get back to your, or just get to a weight that you really like or want, is not about never again eating pizza, burger, or chocolate or crisps.
Yeah, never about that.
But it's about knowing, you know, not to eat. If you open up a packet of biscuits, not to finish the whole packet, because I know for a fact, after so many years of research and learning and my own experiences as well as my clients, we do not need the whole packet. I can
No, absolutely.
assure you that nobody needs it, but we can enjoy it, right? I eat everything. I never say no to things, but I make sure that I am hungry when I eat, right? And I think that's a massive, massive step towards
I know
just
it absolutely is. And I mean, I know what we're doing here is we're breaking it down into its various components. So there is going to be an element
just
of
difficult.
yeah, because they're always going to be mixing and matching. And I mean, I use the term salad just in general. I didn't necessarily mean because ultimately for me, it's a process of a mind-body reconnect and letting the mind actually be aware of what foods it is that the body wants. Using the traffic light system, green, orange, and red. Green is as much healthy
Yeah.
food, what your body deems as healthy. Orange is the stuff you can have occasionally, and red is the stuff that and in moderation. And red is stuff that you just won't have anymore.
Mm.
It's the stuff that your body doesn't need, and that's all done in very deep hypnosis. So therefore, there's an education that comes with that, and the mind then becomes informed about the right foods for your body. As you said, it pays attention to what it is your body actually wants. I mean, because the other side of it that um, a lot of people aren't aware of is that those feelings of hunger are actually thirst at the start. So if we drink water, a lot of those hungry feelings just disappear, you know? So I mean, that's always the first piece of advice to everybody. But ultimately, changing food habits and behaviors is, for me, is always after the beliefs because then there's no
Absolutely, absolutely. Because if you don't believe that you can change or that habit is not, so sometimes we believe that the habits that we are having and we are following and doing is set in stone. That that's how it's supposed to be, right? And I like to question everything, every single habit of mine. Is it really how it's supposed to be, or can I change it? And I like to challenge myself. And you're so right. You it's so much easier to change a habit or a behavior if you look at the belief, what's behind it.
That's the thing.
Because that's what I wanted to go before as well. There's always a belief or beliefs behind something, a behavior, an action, a habit.
The habit is a
That's
response
what's
to the belief.
driving it.
Yeah, it's a response to the belief. That's all the habit is. And if the belief changes, then it's much, much easier to change the habit.
So, John, in your experience
Hmm.
as a hypnotherapist, what are the main beliefs that you came across that was
Um,
life changing for people?
in a lot of cases, and maybe it's just people that come to me, but in a lot of cases, um, there's often a traumatic reason behind it. And once that's freed, the way it has been kept because of a traumatic event that
Yeah.
someone's experienced, they've held on to that. Um, Often the belief is that I can't lose weight. I've tried so often, many, many times before. I've been to, one of those weight programs where I go in every week, I weigh myself, I compare myself to others, I get, all of that, and it just seems so difficult. And that then is just about actually explaining to the client, yeah, because you have a willpower battle all the time because you've never dealt with the belief that says I can't lose the weight. So the question is why? Why do you actually believe that, and what is it that needs to change? Um, and for everybody, that's going to be different. But um, you know, there's a reason behind it. Many times, it's for sometimes it may just be a programming. It could be, as you said, it could be just environmental. If you introduce, the concept of epigenetics, where you can actually choose you don't have to pick the genes, you don't have to pick the environment. You literally have that opportunity. And science can actually show us that once we do that, some of these beliefs start to fade away. Um, but it is about often there's a reason behind it. It could be chasing a happy memory, or it could be, as you said, burying something that we just don't want, and food has become our avenue to do it. And often these are unconscious responses. They're
Yes.
literally the unconscious is trying to protect us in some shape or form, either to not deal with something. And I tend to have a conversation with my clients that goes something along these lines. and hypnotherapists will get this, I'm sure. They mightn't always agree with me, but if the unconscious mind's job is to keep us safe, um, being part of being safe is being healthy, because that's the body, the vehicle that drives us, that we walk around in every day. So if some of the behaviors and beliefs that we've picked up along the road were at a different time when health wasn't as important as it is today for us, then maybe it's our time to let those go. And in a sense, you're pre-framing it in the client's mind. Do I still need to hold on to that? The unconscious can start to think, okay, health's important here. Because as we get older, there's all these worries about, the effects of weight on our body. And doctors and everybody else will tell you that. I'm not a doctor, so you can ask them for those. But, if the unconscious mind becomes aware of that, oh, I've been holding on to this belief because of this memory, blah, blah, blah. Do I still need to do that? Because now there's a consequence to this. So we can begin the process of letting it go, and then it's only a matter of dealing with those beliefs and those beliefs are often, they seem much bigger in our mind than they actually are.
Yeah.
Because we're all familiar with the we'll say with an elephant at a circus that's attached to a pole and won't move. It's got a chain attached to its leg, or even a rope. And the elephant is so big, all it needs to do is literally move the leg and the pole will come up. They're so big, but it's been trained from such a young age that it just believes that it can't move from that pole. A lot of our beliefs are like that. We just believe
Because when the elephant was small, it couldn't. That chain
it
was
was
too strong. But as
chained.
they grow,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, and our beliefs are like that. But when we realize that, and that's where hypnosis is beautiful, because it allows us to get into the unconscious mind and re-educate the unconscious mind to go, no, you're not that age anymore. That's so far in the distance that
Yes,
it's not big anymore.
absolutely.
Doesn't
Beautiful.
serve you, so let's change it.
So in my experience, the like the most harmful, or the most likely that I meet a belief is that when it comes to women, is that over 30 or 40, I'm going to gain weight. And I think that again is on its own a very harmful belief. Why would we want to believe that? I came across a lot of clients who actually had this belief, or the genetics that my mom is like that. And then I must be like that. And again, that is the other thing is that they believe that they are naturally, they were born to be, and it's women or men, they were born to be overweight. That's how they are. That's their identity, and that it's not possible for them to lose weight.
But that is only a belief, and a
It
belief.
is a belief, yeah, it is a belief. So again, in hypnosis, hypnotherapy, you can question it, and then challenge it, and then just
And that's
change
why
it.
it's so key. That's why I always start with beliefs. It's the first
Yeah,
one to everything.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's pretty much a session in its own, just targeting beliefs and revisiting it each and every time after that to make sure.
So, what would you like to leave the audience with? Takeaway.
The real one is to look at the past. If people want to lose weight, if people really want to lose weight, um, to look at some of the beliefs that they hold about themselves. And genuinely, the real thing is to be open to changing them, because they are easily changeable. We see this every single day in our practices, where people change beliefs, and what they thought was really difficult to do is not. So when people are in weight management programs or weight loss programs or whatever, if we don't deal with the beliefs, it is always a constant willpower battle. That's going to be exist. And late in the evenings, or when people get tired for whatever reason, the willpower, which requires energy, starts to fade away, and the beliefs and behaviors start to come back in. But when we target beliefs and reframe the mind to think, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, it's right for me to do this. Then there is no willpower. It actually becomes easy.
Very easy. Yeah. So
And
so
that's
true.
actually the main thing, that if I could get people to understand that. And it just needs their permission to do that, their conscious and unconscious permission. Beliefs are often, they often seem like the biggest thing, because we've been holding on to them for so long. They're like a movie that's playing in our mind, and it's all consuming. When something happens, this movie just kicks in. And we can't think of anything else. I need, I must have, because that movie's playing. But actually in hypnosis, we can make it, the way I describe it, as a black and white photograph on the wall. That is, it's there, it happened, but as we walk by it, it doesn't take our attention much anymore. So it's easy to focus on the stuff that we want rather than our beliefs.
Absolutely. And what I would say is question every single thing that you think about food, eating, yourself as in the self-image within, your personality when it comes to weight, as well as your body, exercise. So watch out for your thoughts. So if somebody, for example, offers you a piece of cake, what's the first thought that you have? Oh, I shouldn't, because it's going to make me fat. That's again a belief that you can question. And slowly and surely, you are going to uncover your beliefs. And you can choose to hold on to them, keep them, or transform them. Because sometimes some beliefs are good for us. It may not be good for other people, but it's actually good for us personally. So I would say question everything that you think about, because those thoughts are going to lead you to your beliefs. What am I thinking about food? When I am trying to plan my next meal, how do I plan it? Do I plan it from fear of gaining weight, or do I plan it because I really just listen to my body, what I want and what I need? Where is the planning coming from? And that can lead you also to your beliefs, because beliefs is the foundation.
Beliefs are the foundation. And, as you said, we can, people can go down that road. They can look at everything that they're doing. They can assess. And when they're ready, when they've made that decision about that they actually want to be healthy, and they want to eat for healthy, they want to listen to their body. I mean, we can go down that old road of continuously, repeating to ourselves and monitoring and changing gradually over time. That can do that. Or we can go a much quicker route, which would be to go through the hypnosis path, because that is just the quickest way around it.
Yeah,
it changes the beliefs in a week or two. They just begin to fade and drift away.
So as much as we'd love to continue to talk about this, we have to bring this to a close now. But we will continue. This is just part one. There's going to be so much more adding to this, because there's lots to cover.
Going to decide what the next format is, by the way, because I'm just here.
Yes. But it's quite exciting. I'm looking forward to the following ones, because I enjoy sharing the knowledge that we have. And believe it or not, even though we are here rambling for so long, we could go on and on and on about beliefs, because there's so much more to it.
And there's a separate podcast on beliefs as well.
Yeah. Go back.
I can't remember the number, but it's in the playlist somewhere. So yeah.
Yes. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a magical day wherever you are.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful time, and see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.